Um, so good evening, everyone. I can see a few people. Thank you so much for being here. We still have about 2 minutes to start. So I just thought maybe, I could just set in a few things and we could know why we are all here. Um, Thank you so much, Entab, for being, um, inspirational every ways that I know you people, and you bring in such new ideas. You tend to take us to bring us together. And for the past few days, these sessions under Ed Talk have been phenomenal, and I'm very happy to be a part of it. And I'm happy to be connecting with all of you. Uh, just to give you a little brief about myself, I'm Dr. Priyanka Mehta, and I have been in this profession for some years now, and some years as in around 25 to say, yeah. And I'm here. I'm in this profession because I'm passionate about being with children and with teachers and with parents, and I feel that this is one place, as in school, as in education, where you are absolutely peaceful by the end of the day because you're doing such beautiful things. You're changing lives. You're affecting the lives of small children. You're helping people achieve their dreams, and you're also assisting people to live their dreams every day. So I hope I'm audible. If there's somebody who can just let me know that I'm audible and I'm clear, so that I'm very sure it's 5 and we can begin talking. All right. So today we are talking about aligning with the new normal. And of course, the word new normal is not new anymore. Uh, it's We all know what I'm going to be talking about. The COVID situation has taken us by a storm. We what we were talking about, what we thought we were watching in the movies, it's all so different when you watch in the movie and you live a real life situation. So to me, this time has brought in a lot of thought process. It has changed the way we are looking at life. So what is this new normal that we're talking of? um, uh, I would like to go back a couple of months in March, beginning March, when we started thinking, when we started to get apprehensive about the the pandemic, the infections, and we were all thinking how we're going to do it. And somewhere I think we all thought it would happen to me. I'm not going to be the one who's going to live it. Well, here we are. And somewhere I think that we're all talking about it. We are all trying to engage in conversations which will help us to understand how we're going to be dealing with it, because this is not something that we thought we were ever living with. I'm going to be sharing a little small story with you, first of all, so that we understand what kind of a situation we are with. And then, of course, we'll get on to the later part of the conversation. I'm going to break my talk into two parts. In the first part, we're going to understand what situation are we in. I have I assume that I am being heard by parents, by teachers, by people with different, work profiles. But what I'm going to be talking is general, and I think we'll all be able to relate with it. The second part of my conversation, I will be talking about a few little simple tips that we can all engage in, so that the times that we are living in become easier for us to understand. And of course, by the end, we are able to, get a few those little ticks there that, okay, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing this, going to be doing this, and I'm going to be feeling better about these situations. So let's start off with the story that I'm sure some of you would have heard it. Um, this is one of my favorites. So there was once a frog, and we all know that frogs can hop, leap. They can live in water. They can live on ground. So there's this frog, and it was jumping all around, and by mistake or by chance, it jumped into a vessel, not realizing that the vessel was on heat. It was on a stove, and the water was kept in that vessel just then to boil. Now, when the frog went in, the water was slightly warm, and the warmth of the water kind of soothed him. He started to enjoy that little spa treatment that was happening all around, and he kind of enjoyed that feeling. But soon the water became warmer because it was on constant heat. And the frog thought, a little more heat, maybe I can take it. So he was still there and struggling to keep himself, alive in that heat that was growing by every second. Sure enough, the heat went on, the water started to boil a little, the frog kept struggling to keep himself comfortable, but of course he was not going to be comfortable in that heat. So finally there came a point where he decided that no, I'm not okay, and I need to jump out of this pan now. By the time he decided to jump out of that pan, the walls of the pan were extremely, extremely hot, and he couldn't touch the walls. The water inside was extremely hot. He couldn't breathe, and his body had become tired of adjusting to this thing that he thought was normal, and he just couldn't. He didn't have the energy to take a huge leap and jump out. So eventually, what happened? I'm sure we all can guess the ending. It was the end of the frog. Now, why did I bring up this story here is not because it's going to end for all of us. It's that we're not going to wait to pull up ourselves out of a situation till we don't have the energy to do that. The most phenomenal quality that we have all been blessed with as human beings is to adapt. And one more quality that we've all have developed on our own is jugaad. Now, this both adapting and jugaad is a life skill that we are all living with. So we need to go back and think and cling on to these two qualities wherein we will understand how to adapt, how to create these new situations around us so that we are not the ones in that pan waiting to die. Of course, none of us is going to be up in that pan waiting to be consumed by the heat around. So what? Now we are in a situation where things are, I won't say they're horrible. Yes, the pandemic is horrible. Yes, the grief is horrible. But the good part is that we're all alive, and we know how to adapt, and we know how to align to this new situation, because it may be, I would say, it's terrible, but it's unusual, but it also has a lining there. You see, whenever we are in a circumstance which is difficult, it brings in new opportunities. But are we aware? Are we there? Do we understand what are the opportunities around us? Or are we struggling like the frog to keep cool within us? No, everything is going to be okay. No, everything is not going to be okay. Or are we fighting within us? I'm sure we all have adapted us. Now, remember, I want you all to go back to that one day when our Honorable Prime Minister came in and told us, well, there's a lockdown. It hit us in a different manner. A lockdown? A lockdown means what? A lockdown means no life And did we not discover our lives for ourselves? We did. But to some, it was immediate. To the others, it was difficult, a little more difficult. But there are some of us who feel that it's going to be all over. Now, for those who feel that way, I'm going to say, you are made to lead the world, and it's not going to be over till, of course, you think it's over. So, this new situation has brought us at a point where we are rethinking, reimagining things, and doing various, permutations and combinations to understand how are we going to go ahead from here. So, let's first analyze what has changed. One thing I have to share with all of you is there are certain changes that are irreversible after COVID-19. They're not going to go back to the same thing. So, the sooner we understand this, the sooner we align with it, the better we are going to be. So, don't be the frog, don't wait. You are the one who's going to take the leap and jump out, and create those opportunities for yourself to be alive. So, certain things which may not change anytime, or with certain situations, is probably the way we look at our travel, the way we look at our meeting places, the way we look at our social life, our social gathering. Now these places are going to the schools, the malls. So these places will need a little rethought, redesigning, innovation of how people are going to be there. Because what we understand as on date, until there is any further thing available for us to think otherwise, we will have to learn how to stay with a certain amount of risk of being infected. So there are two things with us. Now, either we keep brooding and ranting about it, or we hop on to the new situation and we try to tell ourselves, okay, this is the situation I'm in. What do I do? Social distancing is going to be the new norm for a while at least. And this for a while could run into months, could be a year. So do I keep ranting over it? I can't meet. What is this? How do I lead life? I think as a principal, I have met more people. I have met my teachers more often. I have met more educators. And look what we're doing. We're people all over the place and we're all on one platform and we're listening to each other. I told you we could adapt and we could do jugaads and we could do new things all the time. So, what is this new normal going to be? The new normal is going to be a lot of digital platforms that we're going to be staying on with. The new normal is going to be a little bit of that physical distancing that we're going to be, maintaining for a while. The new norm would be maybe understanding how our lifestyle will change. I am surprised how I have come to terms with living with the minimum. I was a person who would want to go out every week, eat every weekend, and be at a party, and I've not done that for so long. But then have I killed myself for it? Not at all. It does affect you. You're human. It will affect. These are all psychosocial in nature. So they will affect you. They will hit you somewhere. But what is important? The important is how to align yourself with it. How to put yourself in the same line so that it's like when, if you've seen how the storm blows, the trees, you see the trees bending in line with the wind. They don't still keep you. Even if it's a strong tree, the bushes would help bend so the wind can pass, the storm can pass. So you have to align yourself like this so the storm can pass. And then once it's over, you can all rise back and find newer things to enjoy yourself. So again, what we have to understand is this change has happened. And now we're going to align ourselves with this change. And what are the main aspects of our life that are going to be affected by this change? We're going to be affected without, without getting into the material part, that how we are going to, am I going to be buying a new car, when, how will I buy a new car, or how am I going to host another party. I would say before that, even before that, let's think of our mind, heart, and our body. These are the three things that are going to be affected immediately. So we're going to be looking at a change where we need to align our mind and come to peace with the situation. We're going to be handling our emotions. We've been in a lockdown situation for some time now, and something that we could never imagine, staying with same people cooped up in the house, children cooped up in the house, not being able to go out to play, not being able to meet their friends. Half of the time we feel children go to school to study. I'm here to tell you, it's not studying. They go to have fun. They go to meet the friends. They go to meet teachers. They go to that place to be naughty. They go to that place to share tiffin, to tell their friend what new they've bought. They've not done that for some time now. The teachers are there to gossip, you know, to meet their friends. The study part happens. Of course, the schools are not a lot, but there's a lot of social happening, and not by schools. I'm talking about a school because I'm a principal and that's my workplace. I'm sure some of you are who are into a corporate setup would agree, doing the same. You look forward to so many other things besides work at a place, but that you've not been doing. So it is going to hit you emotionally too. You're going to be looking at each other doing same little things. If you've not noticed, you morning, evening, afternoon, sometimes I feel I've lost the count of days, but then lost the count of days, but then do I try and make an effort to see what new I can do today? I'm going to talk about that in the next part of my conversation. So this is how your emotions are going to be changing. Then of course the physical part. If we see around us, some of the fitness freaks have not been able to go out. We have been eating day in, day out. And we're more prone to sitting and being over the digital gadgets, and not moving out. So it's going to affect us, uh, physically too. Now that is one part. The lifestyle. How is it going to change? You may not be able to do all those things that you did earlier, even if the lockdown opens, even if these times got better, and we were allowed to go out. There would be a little apprehension with all of us at all times, till we hear from someone that it's all over. I'm hoping for that, and I hope people say that there's one point of the day when what you say sometimes becomes the reality, and I'm hoping that happens right now, that a day it's all over. But then, till it's not over, we need to be changing the way we have been living. So probably going out for dinners is not going to be the same. Probably going out for parties is not going to be the same. So these changes are going to stay. These changes are going to be the part of your new normal. One more thing that I think we need to be not missing here is, what has this time taught you? I think to most of us, it has taught how to make the best of the minimum around us. So the minimum is the most at the moment, is the best at the moment. We have all learned to come across certain the way, strategies to bring happiness around us with the little bit that we have with us at the moment. Many of us have been without any support system at home, and at places where we thought we could never live without them. But well, we've come to terms with them. So it's kind of taken us back to enjoying the basics of life. That's a huge learning. It has taught us how to be more mindful. It has taught us how to be more patient. You sit at home, you wait. What is the next order? How much will the lockdown open? 50%, 60%, green zone, red zone, and then we settle down. We align. So actually we are getting into that mode where we are looking at certain challenges, we are looking at certain new ways of living our routines, we are looking at new thought processes around. I mean, who could think that teaching from home was what was coming in the next few months. We were also glued to those four walls that teaching can only happen. But look at the way we've innovated the teaching modules, the amount of hard work. My heart goes out to all the teachers there who are teaching from home, are also doing their work. They're also taking care of their household responsibilities, but making sure that each child out there that they can connect with, is learning. And of course, extremely thankful to parents who have kind of adopted those children from us for a while. And you're taking care of the teaching at home. And look at the beautiful transformation that has happened. So this is going to be there for a while, and I feel that things, just because we can understand that, okay, this is the new set, we've started to align ourselves with it, the new learnings that we are talking of. And of course, we will also there are questions that are coming in. I hope I don't miss them later, but please wait for your questions till I actually ask you to type your questions, because I'm only afraid I would miss some of them. Okay, so so this that we have called as the new normal is defined as our present and future. We were thinking of some future to come in, where the digitalization would be such that it will affect each part of our routine. Well, we really didn't have to wait for long. It just happened to us, and we soaked ourselves into that new change beautifully. Another thing that is going to be a challenge is, while we are online, how safe are we? So you have to understand that while we are there in this space, we have to take care that we all maintain our privacy too. We are able to keep those norms, we're able to keep those balances across, where we expose ourselves to the digital media in a way that we are able to do what we want to do, and we're also able to keep ourselves safe. That's again going to be a new challenge. That's again going to be a new normal. People working from home was more of a corporate culture, people thought. Not anymore. Not at all anymore. It's not only people working from home, it's students studying from home too. So that's a whole new, place that is evolving, and evolving very fast. So that's another challenge that we're looking at. Education, learning, examination. That's another thing that we are going to be looking at. So all this put together is something that is going to bring a new thought line. It's going to make us think again, how are we going to do certain things in future? How are our children going to learn? How are our children going to be safe? Now, once schools open, we are thrown with a challenge of how to keep them safe for children, not only children, for teachers, for the support staff. How are we going to put them there in that space so that they are safe? But let me assure you that come to that point, we will be able to do it, because we're already thinking about it. Man, that's what I said. We have a beautiful ability to adapt and to align, and we will do it. Because there are certain traits that we need to follow. Beautiful. And these traits, these skills, which help us do all these things in a sort of manner that it becomes our character to react positively and to adapt positively to such changes. The three kind of skills that we're going to be talking about. Now, the first kind of skill is a thinking skill. And these are all clubbed under life skills that we talk mostly. And it's beautiful to be talking about life skills because we live them every day. We live them every moment. From the point where you decide whether I want to have a glass of cold water, or should I iron the clothes right now, or do I even get up right now? All these, they're a part of that great brain work that is happening around you. So let's go back to the kind of skills that we are going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about three skills: the thinking skills, the social skills, and the emotional skills. These skills together help you adapt, help you be positive in life, help you align with the challenges in life, help you survive better. They also help you to deal with the challenges that are around you. And they affect the well being of any individual. And well being, as in the physical well being, the mental well being, the emotional well being, and of course, your relationships, which are very, very important. Then there are the social skills that I'm talking about. The social skills help you to understand relationships. And then there are the emotional skills that I'm talking about. They help you cope with stress around you. They help you cope with failures around you. And together, these three, they help you build a wholesome individual who is ready to face any challenge in life. If I was to give you an example, thinking skills would involve problem solving, self awareness. Let's go back to that story once again, the frog story. Self awareness was extremely low with the frog. It didn't even know whether it was in danger or was it enjoying a spa treatment. It's a very important skill that we must all inculcate. Remember, these are abilities, and we can all sail through the difficult parts of our lives if we are able to build up these abilities. These abilities can be acquired consciously. Okay, I'm sorry for that little glitch. Okay, so these abilities can be acquired consciously. You can learn how to be self-aware. You can learn how to solve problems. You can learn critical thinking. You can learn problem solving. These are all little abilities that you can acquire by consciously trying to weigh the situation around yourself. Okay. And yes, Raghavendra ji, I can read your message. And you're talking about core skills and skills in peer learning. Definitely, I'm coming to that. So, and then you come down once you start thinking carefully, and you're aware of what is around you, you can understand who are the people around you that you're related with. What are your relations, and how do you maintain those relations? How do you react to situations where you are to take decisions which with people who you are very close to, or even in a formal situation? So you learn to handle how much to speak, how much to communicate, how much to talk. If you're angry, you go burst out yourself. It won't really help. What are you angry with? Are you angry with the person? And here I want to tell you one thing. In normal circumstances, you are rarely angry with a person. You are more angry with the situation. So please, in future, at least in one instance where you get angry, try and understand what the situation is. And see if that brings down your anger. Because it will. It's hardly the person, it's a situation that brings it up. All right, let's go back to the skills that I'm talking about. Then your emotional skills, huge stress around. Even when you're not doing anything, you're stressed. A person sometimes like me, who's kind of a workaholic, I'm still a workaholic, I hope, but kind of a workaholic person, office, home, this, that. When I thought, अब क्या करना है? ये तो सारा कुछ बंद हो गया. Now that was a new stress for me. What do I do? How do I connect? And then you see, you dump it. You dump it. And suddenly you feel, oh, there's so much to do, so much more to happen, so much more to explore. There are friends, there are things around, there are calls. You can be on WhatsApp call. Who talks of social distancing? It's only physical distancing that we're talking of. So you change the word. Don't talk of social distancing. Physical distancing makes it easier, makes it lighter. And so if it's only physical distancing, how can I get nearer, closer to my friends, to my family? So you take care of everything else. So these three skills, thinking skills, social skills, and of course emotional skills, together when they build up the new you. So you have to understand how to gauge your options. So if there's a situation like the one that we have now, where there is a pandemic outside, where you don't know whether it is safe for you to go out, what are your options? If you're able to think about your options, trust me, friends, they'll give you 10,000 ways to start enjoying your life. Because most of the time, we don't know our options. And the self-awareness, the critical thinking, the problem solving, the peer learning, being with people, understanding, positive thinking, they're all together helping you to understand the options. So this is the new normal that we are looking at. This is the new challenge that we are looking at. But trust me, none of us is alone in this. We're all together. And that should bring us a strength. That should bring all the strength together with each one of us, that we're all together in this and we're all looking for things that are going to be better, and we're going to make this time much, much better for ourselves. Now, considering that we have tried and we have analyzed and we've understood what are the different things that that become a part of the challenge, let's discuss a few points of what are the ticks, what are the things that we can take care of consciously and do them consciously, so that this new normal stops affecting us. We probably stop calling it a new normal. We start calling it normal. So how do we get into this? The first point that I've written I did scribble a few things, and I'm going to be sharing those little points that I've written with me. For everything that these points are written, they'll be working at three levels: the mental level, the physical level, and the emotional level. These are the three things that we are going to be looking at. So the first thing I've already discussed and was very important, that we need to develop a set of skills, and I call them skills for life. Today we are in a situation which is one kind of a pandemic. Who knows what is going to be next year or next to next year? There could be a situation which is different. The world is changing. The only way we look at it, if we think that something like this will never happen again, we're only not putting ourselves alert enough to understand that we have to be prepared. The only thing that has helped us is preparation. Wherever there was preparation, things have been better. So if it is pandemic today, if it is COVID today, it could be something else tomorrow, or it could be anything else later. So what is it that you develop? You develop a certain set of skills. Again, good thinking skills, good social skills, good emotional skills. And I've already discussed them a little while ago. The core skills of life. Because we have to understand that we have to live a life of collaboration. We are no No person left alone on an island looking for a boat or climbing up a coconut tree and trying to build a house. No, it's not like that. We are absolutely in times where we are looking, we have the families with us, we have our responsibilities with us, we have ourselves to be answerable to. Please never forget that. You yourself are a beautiful being, and you need not sacrifice anything that you're doing for anything else and become unhappy first. So don't do that. So you're not loners. We have to collaborate, and we have to understand the skills of collaboration. We have to understand the skills that help us to think better. We have to understand the skills which help us to get emotionally more strong. And that education begins from a little child till everybody, till the time you grow old. What you learn. So somebody was just asking me, ma'am, how do we handle children? They're very young and they're locked up all at home. Well, of course, I'll come to certain tips in the end on what all you can do to work that up. But these skills will become important. Coping skills, minimalizing skills, come down to basics, concentrate on basics. The rest is luxury. You can always do it when things get normal. So identify basics. Because when you expect less, when you're happy with little, a loss cannot be larger than that. So every time you look at a basic, you look at a little thing, you're safeguarding yourself. You're also understanding that, okay, this is the minimum, and you can control a little more, little things more than trying to catch it all. You can't catch it all. That brings me to point number two. Point number two is ask. Ask for help. Ask for people to get together. What stops you from doing it? And when you're in trouble, be open about it. Ask for help. Now, another thing where you'll say, ma'am, you're always there with stories. Yes, I'm always there with stories because stories teach us things better. Now, there was this man, and I'm going to cut it short a little. There was this man who had immense faith in God, and there was I don't know if you've heard it, and I will tweak a little and I'll change the details a little bit to suit my time. And this man had extreme faith in God, and he used to always say that I'm not scared of anything in life, and I have God around me to save me. It so happened that once there was uh, a storm, and or what you say, um, the entire village was flooded, and people started to run for their lives. Now this man climbed on top of the roof to save himself. People told him, come down, there are boats, and we can carry you to the next place. But this man said, no, my God will come and save me. And he kept praying to God, come and save me, and come and save me. Soon the water level rose, and he could see the water coming up. So he climbed onto a nearby tree, which was higher. And now he was on the top of the tree. Again, there was, most of the villagers had all left. And there is this, some lifeguards who came in a boat, and they told him, come down, we'll take you, we'll save you. You have to, come with us. Again, no, my God will come and save me. So these people had no other way out. They all left. Now he's there alone, waiting for the God to come down and save him. And so, sure enough, he couldn't save himself because he was left alone. What happened next? He went up, he asked God, my entire faith in you is under question. I kept calling you and you did not save me. He says, what a fool you are. As the first one who came when you hadn't even called. I came as a friend who told you, run, come with me. Then you didn't listen to me. Again, I came to you as those lifeguards to come and save you, but you didn't listen to me. But then I thought, maybe this is how you're going to learn. You have to be with people, you have to understand how to ask for help, how to manage yourself also. I'm there always with you. So God's always with us. And asking doesn't make us small. You ask for help when you are not okay. You ask people to come and speak to you when you're not okay. You feel low during these times, call up a friend. Walk up to the next room and speak to your children. Stop doing what you are doing right now and try and make something that is going to be making you happy, or is everybody's going to enjoy. Ask. Don't let it be within yourself. Next, while you ask, while you're talking to people and asking them help, okay, I need this, you also need to be sensitive. Stay sensitive in such times. Care. I heard somewhere, and it's a beautiful line, people will never remember you for what you do. People will not remember you for what you achieved, but people will always remember you for how you made them feel. So you have to make sure that you're sensitive. Now tomorrow you go and tell people, well, ma'am said ask, I'm coming here and ask for help, so help me out, and the other person is busy with something else and looking at you with a blank face. What's wrong? Are you sensitive enough to look at what the other person is doing? Have you heard the person enough when you intervene? Stay sensitive. Or there could be a child. Somebody just asked me, ma'am, tantrums, temper tantrums with children. Be sensitive. You don't need to scold them all the time. In fact, this is not the time to scold them. This is the time to be sensitive. This is the time to make them sit with you, hear them out. They have loads of energy. Loads of energy. And this energy was exhausted when they used to go to school. They used to play around, they used to move around, they used to go to the washroom 10 times in a day, walk in and out, jump from one desk to the other, the physical activity. And now they're all cooped up inside the home. Where are they losing this energy? Be sensitive, care. Care for everybody. And you see, it'll bring a lot of peace within you. Of course, then, my next point, when you care, you do things, make sure you take time to talk. Make sure you have this family time. All of us, okay, if I was to tell you, close your eyes for 2 minutes and think of one complaint that each one of you had back in January or in February, what one complaint could you all think of? One complaint, one thing. If I had this, I would be able to do this. That one thing that we all complained was time. If I had the time, I would go for a movie. If I had time, I would spend time with my children. If I had the time, I would paint. I would do this. Time ही नहीं मिलता है अब तो. अब पूरा time है आपके पास. All you have is time. Now can you please rebuild, reinvent, rediscover? Rebuild, reinvent, rediscover. Yourself, your children, your relationships, your work. Get onto webinars, get yourself trained. Sit with your children, play new games. I had this very nice example of a parent who's built up, a tent with some bed sheet, and he's put his children and both the kids are inside enjoying a night in the camp inside the room. Wow, That's great. It's only that you think, okay, हो गया, ये situation है, अब क्या करें? What next? So we're looking at so many new things happening around ourselves. So who stops you from being spending that time that you all so much longed for? This time is all yours now. Involve. Now, while you have all the time, do you have a routine? Because without a routine, the entire time that you're planning to, use or enjoy will have no meaning. You'll end up messed up. So try and build a good routine. Get up at I don't say get up for, of course the 4 a.m. club is different, the 5 a.m. club is different, and it's always healthier to be at that time, but it's okay if you're not the types. I'm not the types, by the way. So I take my own time to get up. I'm a nighter, so I'd rather stay awake at night and get up at my time in the morning, but then I'll make sure that there is a routine. So do you have a routine? Build up a routine and take out time for yourself. Your time, my time, me time. Take out that. Take out time with your children. Read out storybooks to them. You don't want them to be on the gadgets? Don't be. Read out. Give them a nice paint, dance, sing, play cards, play board games. Wait for the malls to open. They're all waiting for you, but they're not going anywhere. This time is the time to create new memories. Go out there, dig out old albums. Dig out albums where your parents are there. Dig out things that are there. Go through them. Sit down with your children. Let them understand how your parents led a life, how you have led your life. Give them chance to feel that thing. Trust me, the entire perspective of life for these small children will change. It's like a fairy tale to them. गाड़ी नहीं होती थी, ये नहीं था, वो नहीं था, आप वह कैसे करते थे, आप ये कैसे करते थे? फिर loads of questions, and those happy moments that you captured. I'm sure nobody captures a bad moment. You always capture beautiful moments. Live through those moments all over again, and you see how beautiful it becomes. Exercise. Next point, very important. Tire yourself at least once in a day, and tire yourself in a routine. I'm not saying that you're working morning to evening and you're tired. No, I mean a workout. Tire yourself. You really need to get tired while doing this stress, sweat, because this will help you to gain those extra, those energizing hormones inside. If we sit down for a very long time, not only does our body get, lazy, the mind also tends to get lazy. Your emotions go for a slump. And when you exercise, when you really work out, do a cardio, do something that helps you sweat, breathe heavy. That kind of a workout for about 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes in a day. It keeps your joints in place, it keeps your mind also in place. And it's a must for children. Somebody just asked me, how do I keep my children healthy during this period? Please make sure that while you're having a cup of tea in the morning, you've made your children stand there, and you have, if you can't manage an exercise, you have a TV on with a YouTube channel thing, and there's somebody telling you how to exercise, and you're encouraging your children to jump and jog. There's no harm in doing that, because that's what they're made for. Let me tell you, it's natural for children to jump, to be naughty, and it is unnatural for them to be sitting in a place and doing their work for hours together. That's not natural behavior for children. We teach them to do it. And we work very hard to teach them. So what is natural to them is enjoyed more. So make sure you are picking up these little things and doing small things at home to keep everybody energized. Okay, so we've done physical activity, we've done care, we've done understanding of things. Um, One thing that I also want to say is don't try to catch everything at the same time. I want to do this webinar also. I want to do my work also. I want to do all the cooking and make sure that the cooking is also done. I'm sure I want to make people happy also. You can't catch it all. If you try to catch it all, if just imagine if you're carrying five little balls and you're trying to hold them between your two hands, one odd thing will start hopping out. You can't catch it all anytime. Anyways, it's always nice to hold them one by one. Start enjoying them one by one. So don't rush. Don't even rush with your children. Don't rush with your work. Don't rush with your routines also. Don't stress yourself out in the sense that this is what I was doing earlier and this is what I'm doing now, so it won't work. Take your time. Let it flow. Align your routines. Understand that you're now connected to people who are closer to you. Your husband earlier was at work or your wife was at a different work. There were two different environments. Children were at school. No connection there. So now, but that now, all these things have been brought together, probably in one room, and you're all exposed to each other. So you have to understand how to build that space. You have to understand that there will be things where there's going to be either an overlap or an argument, whatever you name it. It's going to be there. Go back to the earlier points. Care, be sensitive, thinking skills, social skills, communication skills. How much do you speak? How much do you react? Very important. Of all the things, one thing that is most important is how much you speak and how you speak, because that you will not be able to take back. You may want to cover it up, but the effect has happened. And remember, people may forget what you do, people may forget what you've achieved, people will never forget how you made them feel. So be very careful about it. In the end, I would like to say it all comes down to one point, and that is having a positive attitude, having a positive thinking. It's not easy. I understand it's not easy. But if you try and if you develop those abilities that we were talking about a little earlier, it's not impossible to be positive. And this is one positive, which is good. Even if in these times, the only thing that has kept humanity going is positive thinking, faith in God, faith in yourself, faith in your abilities, love, care, affection, your families, your work. These are the things that have kept you going all this while. It's only that the outer circle has changed a little. But soon we will all work out our own safety measures. We will all work out how to stay safe. Schools will work out how children will be safe at school. Malls will work out how customers have to be safer at malls. We will all work out. We are born to innovate. We challenge it. And when there is challenge, there is innovation. Where there is difficulty, there is innovation. When there is trouble, there is innovation. So, in a way, this time has arrived maybe a little earlier than we were prepared, but it has arrived to tell us get up, you deserve better, and try and innovate around yourself a better life. A life which is strengthened with basics, sensitivity, care. It's important. It's important how you and me understand why staying at home is important. It's not for you and me. Look at yourselves. You've all been at home for so long, and it's not only for yourself. You're also staying home for others. What better example do we need that man is caring, essentially caring? And we're all aligned to be successful human beings. That's our nature. God made us that way. Let's not underestimate ourselves. Never underestimate the power of a human being. Not only a human being, the power of a human mind. It's huge. But let your mind work towards positivity, adaptability, well being. Because only out of a happy mind, happy emotions come out. Happy emotions will help your relations to be happy, and everything else follows suit. So, thank you so much for being there. Build memories during this time, is my message. Build lovely memories with your loved ones. Who knows what we're going to face in future? And tomorrow we might feel we had so much time. We could have done much better. Let's do that much better right now. Let's not waste our time now. God has given us this one opportunity to understand you are more important. Life is more important. Living is more important. Materialism is all secondary. We have only learnt not to live with those flashy materials, and some of us have not even, I don't know, I may be totally wrong, but look, my closet is all closed with those heavy saris and all those the loads of money that has gone into picking up that. And I'm here talking to you, everybody, and only thanking myself that each one of us is alive, and praying that this pandemic is over and we are back to our routines, which will not be the same as before. It will be the new normal. So align yourself to it. All the best. Have a great time. I can take a few questions if there are any. I can see the chat box with me. So if there's anyone who is willing to. mm yes, of course. There are lovely messages coming in where people are saying that, yes, we need to flow with the time. We need to be calm. Yes, we need to be calm. And of course, once you're at peace with your changing environment, you are calm. Stop losing your energy. Always remember the frog story. Stop struggling at the wrong place at the wrong time. Keep your energy with you so that in the first opportunity, now the frog did not have lack of opportunities. There were so many opportunities that the frog would have got, but it didn't jump on time. So come out of whatever is making you sulk, and jump. Take the leap of faith, take the leap of life. I'm sure it's going to be very, very positive at the end of these times. They are going to end. They're not going to be forever. They're not going to be forever. So thank you so much. It's been really nice reading through your messages, and I hope that there's some takeaway from this conversation that we've had. And thank you so much, Entab and team. You've been guiding us through. Who had thought that we would be talking to so many people at one time, and on such a beautiful platform. So all gratitude to everybody being there. Thank you, thank you. Yes, okay. All right. Is there a question that I missed? Let me just check it once. All right. Yes, there's a very valid point that one of you has brought in, that of course we are our own architects of life, and we can design our lives the way we want to. That's exactly what I had said, that we can design our lives and then redesign and redesign. So you should never get, and I'll tell you one more thing, and that could my last parting line, that never settle with the good. The good is the enemy of the best. So if you always try to be normal or average, you are heavily missing on how amazing you can be. So never settle for that average human being. Never settle down to just live, survive, enhance yourself, live life, queen size, king size, whatever size, but stay happy. So, all of you, all the best. Stay at home, stay happy. And for all those lovely mothers out there, very, very happy Mother's Day. And keep your children busy, keep yourself busy, stay happy. And remember, when you want to scold your child, just think once. The child has not been out for a while. You need to keep that patience. You need to grow up. The child will not grow unnecessarily. Bye bye. Have a great time.